Welcome all to yet another video. Dr. RS and you, the science of cosmetics and personal care products. Today we are going to part 57, skin cleansing, melt and pour transparent cleansing bar. Melt and pour transparent cleansing bar. Before going to part 57, I want to add some more details on part 56, Sindet bars. I want to show you two examples of Sindet bars, which is not a combo bar, but it is 100% Sindet bar. Two examples. Moisturex Sindet bar, okay? Moisturex Sindet bar, which contains no soap but contains disodium lauryl sulfosuccinate, sodium lauryl sulfate, potassium lauryl sulfate, sodium cocyl glycinate, cetostearyl alcohol, quaternary polyquaternium 7 for conditioning. So main surfactants: disodium lauryl sulfosuccinate, sodium lauryl sulfate, potassium lauryl sulfate and sodium cocyl glycinates. Okay, this is a Sindet bar. Moisturex, rupees 155 for 75 grams this soap costs. The other example which I want to show you is Sebamed baby cleansing bar. It's also a Sindet bar. It contains disodium lauryl sulfosuccinate, palmitic acid and stearic acid as such, it's not a soap form, glyceryl stearate, cetostearyl alcohol, sodium lauryl sarcosinate, it contains cocoa amido propyl betaine, and then it has beeswax and amino acids, other amino acids. So basically the surfactants: disodium lauryl sulfosuccinate, then sodium lauryl sarcosinate, cocoa amido propyl betaine. So this is a Sindet bar. This is not a combo bar. This is also a Sindet bar. These two Sindet bars, which is not a combo bar, I wish to introduce to you as a section of part 56, right, before going to part 57. So now we will go to part 57, skin cleansing, melt and pour transparent cleansing bar. Melt and pour transparent cleansing bar. So part 57, melt and pour transparent cleansing bar. Melt and pour transparent cleansing bar. Melt and pour transparent cleansing bar is a combo bar made with a combination of soap and surfactants. Ethyl alcohol, isopropyl alcohol is used in the process of making transparent cleansing bar. Now alcohol-free versions are being optimized. There are many patents in the field of transparent cleansing bars. Ethyl alcohol forms a very good solvent in the transparent soap preparation, where the saponification is complete, and in the presence of alcohol the foaming characteristics of the soap while forming, it's reduced, and so the transparency naturally it improves. So however, making product with ethyl alcohol needs a lot of the product has to mature for 2-3 weeks after making, and to reduce the processing time, people are moving away from ethyl alcohol process, and alcohol free processes are being developed also, right? So Melt and pour. Again, I am saying transparent soaps. It's not transparent soap. It's transparent cleansing bar, because again the TFM of these soaps are less than 60. So you can see all the transparent soaps, they don't call it as transparent soap, they call it as transparent cleansing bar, right? Melt and pour, transparent cleansing bar, right? So transparent soaps are isotropic, which allow light to pass uniformly through the same plane in the soap, and therefore the light is not reflected by fatty acid crystals, and this causes transparency in soap. Mowbray notes that to reduce the formation of fibrous crystals in making a transparent soap, castor oil, ethanol, glycerin and sugar are added to the hot soap solution. This does not allow the fibrous crystals to form. Richardson backed this research up with his substance list that included glycerol, ethyl and methyl alcohols, sugar, cane sugar or sorbitol, and alkali metal salts of rosin, sodium rosinates. All these things are used to reduce the formation of the fibrous crystals and to make the soap more transparent. Richardson noted the main process of making transparent soap is adding to a soap solution substances which will form jelly and retard crystallization, causing transparency. These transparent melt and pour soaps are made with transparent and melting abilities with the addition of propylene glycol, a detergents like sodium laureth sulfate and triethanolamine. These act to retard the growth of crystals in the soap and also give bars their ability to be melt and pour soaps. So these are all Richardson WD in the year 1908, transparent soap, a super cool solution, and Mowbray making usable quality opaque or transparent soap, Journal of Chemical Education, volume 82. These are the two references, right? Now we will look into a processing of alcohol based transparent melt and pour transparent cleansing bar. It's not a soap, cleansing bar. I typed it as soap to correct here, cleansing bar for us not to make the mistake of saying transparent soap. It's transparent cleansing bar. Okay. Now melt and pour transparent cleansing bar, right? See this formula, the very passionate site for the soap making. You can get into this site and then see that, and Lovin's soap studio in Google. Fantastic. So people they do lot of trials with they play with lot of ingredients and then they make soaps in the lab, right? So now one such formula is castor oil 100 grams 20%, coconut oil 30%, 150 grams, tallow, it's the vegetable the animal fat, stearic acid, avocado oil, then lye 76 grams, sodium hydroxide. Right. Now the quantity of lye taken is to completely saponify all the oils. No, we will not leave the excess oil to reduce cloudiness. That distilled water, solvents equal to 100% of oils, that is glycerin, denatured alcohol, sugar 125 grams, water 83 grams to create sugar solution. Sugar 25% of oil, sugar solution, denatured alcohol 50% of the alcohol oil weight, no, 25% of the oil weight glycerin. These are all the solvents, right? Glycerin, denatured alcohol, sugar. So to make the sugar solution 83 grams of water. So safety warning, if you try this process, be sure to have plenty, of course, because you are dealing with denatured alcohol which is highly inflammable, and also in the process you have to heat to 65 to 70 degrees centigrade. So don't use any open flame. No, you have to use water bath. It should be well ventilated place, right? Both sodium hydroxide and alcohol handling should be very careful. It should be safely handled, very important. Don't try to make it in the lab without any safety precaution. All safety precautions should be taken to make this product, right? So now what happens? Weigh the oils, castor oil, coconut oil, vegetable fat, avocado oil and glycerin into a crock pot and melt. Do not add stearic acid yet. Step 2, weigh the sodium hydroxide and lye and distilled water into 2 separate containers. Add lye to water while stirring to create a solution. Okay, make sodium hydroxide solution. You need not cool the lye. You can add the lye to the into your melted oils glycerin, right here. Then weigh out stearic acid, about 10 grams extra, melt using double boiler on the stove. Melt it and pour it to the mix. You are adding 10 grams more so that when you pour it in the lab there can be a loss. So it's then weigh your stearic acid into the crock pot. The extra stearic acid you measured, okay. Blend again. It will get quite thick because of the stearic acid. Weigh denatured alcohol and add to the mixture. Stir quickly, breaking up the soap. It will start to dissolve a bit in alcohol. Scrape the sides and to get all of it to mix together. Immediately cover and press and seal the lid. Set to cook. You want as little evaporation of alcohol to happen as possible so that it remains in soap mixture to dissolve the soap. Let the soap cook for 2 hours. During this time, solvents will work on dissolving the soap crystals that form, creating a clear soap. No need to stir. So it can be some 65 to 70 degrees or 60 to 65 degrees, not more than that. After 2 hours, test your soap for clarity. You can do this by pouring a bit of soap mixture onto the cold glass cup. When you first remove the press seal, you will notice lots of foam. Spray with alcohol to remove the foam, right? Create your sugar solution. Make a sugar solution, sugar and water. The sugar should dissolve pretty quickly with hot water. Okay. Then add sugar solution to the the whole mix and cook for another 30 minutes. Okay, then clarity, you have to keep on checking the clarity. Once the clarity is attained, now you can add perfume color and pour it into the mold. See, the technique is to get that clarity, right? It needs a lot of practice and the addition time, so that you get the clarity right? So the solvents used here are glycerin, alcohol and sugar solution. Okay. You can sorbitol is also generally used. Sorbitol is used. Now pour into molds, spray with alcohol to reduce bubbles on the surface. After 24 hours unmold, you take the soaps from the mold, which is usually less than 24 hours. If it gets hardened, remove. Let the soap to cure for 4 to 6 weeks. The soap has to cure for 4 to 6 weeks. During the cure, the soap actually gets more clearer. Use your transparent soap as is, or use embeds. So this process is very time consuming. All the clear soaps were originally made with this process. So slowly people are trying to make clear soaps without alcohol, right? So one such attempt, right? The reference is formulation of transparent melt and pour soaps without petroleum derivatives, right? That is what is aimed. A petroleum derivative is without the sodium. So sodium lauryl is without propylene glycol. Propylene glycol is petroleum derived. But here, above all, in this process, alcohol is also not used, right? This is the reference I saw, formulation of transparent melt and pour soaps from this journal. Then, so glycerol, 70% sorbitol solution, sodium lauryl sulfate, stearic acid, myristic acid, sodium hydroxide solution, triethanolamine. Glycerol can be substituted, part of it, with propylene glycol, but he has not used propylene glycol here because he wants to make it, propylene glycol is petroleum product, so he wants to make it petroleum free product. So make lye solution. Just I am saying it as a prototype. From here you can develop alcohol free formula. So make lye solution, okay, measure vegetable glycerin, the sorbitol solution and sodium lauryl sulfate solution into 250 ml beaker on a hot plate. So stir. Once the heat is attained 60 degrees centigrade, add 11.4 grams of stearic acid and 5.31 myristic acid, stearic acid and myristic acid, heat to 68 degrees. At this temperature, slowly add the lye solution, 50% sodium hydroxide solution, and mix for 20 minutes while continuously stopping and starting the stirring until the mixture becomes transparent. Let the solution set for 1 hour at 68 degrees centigrade. So you have to maintain at for 1 hour and keep it at 68 degrees centigrade where the saponification is getting complete. After 1 hour, slowly add 2.27 grams of triethanolamine. Let soap solution cool to 62 to 64 degrees and pour into soap mold. Let cool and harden. Melt and pour soaps are haziness of the soap, it's not completely clear. batch to batch variation, especially when you add triethanolamine and no, batch to batch variation in the color of the soap, no, it tends to become more yellowish, the color. And then sweating. Sometimes what happens, this the polyols can form sweat like droplets out of the soap. That is called the sweating of the soap. That can also happen. Over a period of time, the soap can lose its transparency, crystallization can happen. So these are all the problems in a transparent soap, which in the formulation development stage itself, all these things have to be addressed and the formula has to be optimized. So this is a starting formula for a alcohol free, ethyl alcohol free melt and pour transparent cleansing bar. To read, to know more, go to the reference, right? So melt and pour transparent cleansing bar, there are noodles available also, melt and pour cleansing bar noodle. For example, this inky name: water, propylene glycol, sodium stearate, that is soap, glycerin, sugar, sucrose, sodium laureth sulfate, sodium cocoate, coconut oil soap, sorbitol and sodium chloride. So what happens in this? You have to melt, add perfume and color and pour into moles. Just melt this combination, melt and pour soap base for the manufacture of crystal clear soaps. It offers good foaming even in hard water. So this is a melt and pour transparent noodles are available. So the noodles, if you are not going from the start, no, these noodles you can melt, pour into molds. While you melt it, you can add perfume and color and the actives, pour it into mold and the soap is done, right? This is simple way of doing the melt and pour soaps, but it's to understand as a scientist, you have to go into the science of forming the melt and pour soap, which we discussed, right? Examples of melt and pour soap in the market: Pierce and Neutrogena cleansing bar. So it's the Pierce, you could see the label, Pierce label, where ingredients: water, sodium palm kernelate, this is palm kernel oil soap, sorbitol solvent, glycerin, sodium rosinate, sodium palmitate, it's a soap, sodium stearate, it's a soap, then propylene glycol, sodium lauryl sulfate, it's a surfactant, PG4, it's a solvent, isopropyl alcohol, instead of ethyl alcohol, here isopropyl alcohol is used, perfume, sodium chloride, sodium metabisulfite, antioxidant. Sodium metabisulfite is an antioxidant. Tetrasodium erythronate is a chelating agent. Tetrasodium EDTA, it's a chelating agent. BHT, it's a butylated hydroxytoluene, it's an antioxidant. And all the cinnamol, eugenol, limonene, linalool, these are all from the perfume, and these are all the color. These two colors have been used, right? This is the formula of the transparent soap of Pierce, right? Here the processing which we discussed, no? Processing is very, very important. The steps for processing. Neutrogena, right? The other soap is Neutrogena. This is alcohol free soap. Here again it's a totally different formula. Triethanolamine stearate, sodium tallow, animal fat, sodium tallowate, glycerin, sodium cocoate, coconut oil soap, sodium resinolate, resinolic acid. The hydroxyl group of resinolic acid makes it more foaming because of its hydrophilic nature. Sodium resinolate, resinolic acid from castor oil, sodium oleate, cocamide monoethanolamide. So, cocamide monoethanolamide, disodium coco amphodiacetate. It is a surfactant, right? Fragrance, sodium stearate soap, BHT antioxidant, butylated hydroxytoluene, tocopherol acetate, vitamin E acetate, tetrasodium editronate, trisodium EDTA. They are all chelating agents, sodium metabisulfate, antioxidants. So here it is not alcohol based. Here the triethanolamine is added to prevent crystallization, and then for the clarity we saw that triethanolamine, right? So this is yet another example of clear soap, transparent cleansing bar. Okay. This is what I want to share with you today on transparent soaps. The processing of transparent soap, unlike handmade soaps, it's relatively easy to process. Transparent soaps are relatively the processing is much more intensive, and each step is very critical. So while developing the formula, you have to be very accurate and develop the formula. And also there are a lot of patents on the clear soaps. So before you launch the product, you develop and launch the product, you have to be very clear that you are not infringing anybody's patent. This is very, very important. Ultimately somebody saying that you have infringed my patent. So most of the patents should be little old patent, but there may be some recent patents that we are not aware, and then we would have done same work and we would have identified some route to make a transparent soap, but check that your formula is all patent cleared, right? And you can patent it also. So there are many routes. If you know the principle of making a transparent soap, you can approach it in many ways, right? And more commercially feasible ways, right? So transparent soap is, I'm saying again, soap. Transparent cleansing bar, it's not a soap. Transparent cleansing bar is yet another presentation of skin cleansing product form, right? So continuous search for cleansing formulations that deliver mildness and safety, flash foam, dense and copious foam, cleansing ability, rinsability, skin conditioning, biodegradability. The most important is mildness and safety and cleansing efficacy. Then rinsability. It should cleanse and it should be rinsed off very easily. Putting more and more water to cleanse it, no, you feel like it has not, your face is not clean at all. So sometimes if you use some products, no, you have to clean again and again. So rinsability is very, very important. Of course, skin conditioning. After washing, the skin should feel supple. Biodegradability, because you wash and it has to go, the ingredients have to be biodegradable, right? So this is what I want to share with you today, and from here we will go to face wash and body wash, right, which is much more simpler topic, much more simpler to make once you have the formula. So we will go to face wash, body washes, and face masks and scrubs, right, subsequently. Thank you for listening to me in this video. Till we connect in the next video, bye to you all. Be safe, be happy, be smiling. Bye. Thank you.